how needed was Tuesday in terms of the result, and what can it do for you going forwards?
It was a good performance. Obviously the name of the game is to pick up points. So no, it was good to get a reward for the hard work that's been put in over the past however many weeks.
And how's Dan Alundu after going off? I take it as a precaution.
Yeah, there's no point taking any risk with Dan. We're hopefully he's on the grass this morning, and we'll see how he is from there.
I mean, is that one of the reasons why you've got the size of squad that you have? Because you've got so many young players who, might not be, if you like, match hardened to a full season. This sort of thing might happen where, you've got to look after players plenty.
No, I think we've got decent numbers in the squad, but especially this is probably the end of a run where the games start to space out a little bit. I think up to this point there has been games have been stacked up, so it's prudent to have decent numbers and good options within the squad.
And you mentioned sort of it's the end of Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. How much is there then just a little bit of a sort of final push into this, and then it's sort of one game a week?
Not really, because I think that's a dangerous attitude to have. I think our focus going into, I don't really look past MK to be honest, but our focus going into next week will be exactly the same as it has been when the games have been stacked up.
I guess from your perspective, you can just spend a bit more time on the training pitches though, can't you?
Yeah, your training week changes a little bit because obviously we go from 1 or 2 days prep for matches to a full week to bed stuff in. So yeah, your week looks slightly different, but I wouldn't want to think, take a deep breath and we can have a little bit of a breather now, because it won't be that at all.
What do you make of MK? I mean, from most people's perspectives, I guess pretty surprising they've had the start to the season they have.
Yeah, but they've had a little bit of transition in their squad as well. Obviously, they're probably victims of their own success in that players had probably reached the ceiling and a couple of players moved up a level. But certainly watching the last few games, they've been very good. Morecambe, Cheltenham. So no, I think they're getting back to the sort of the form and the team that you saw last season.
And you mentioned that win over Cheltenham. How much tougher does it make it when you're playing against a team who, suddenly they've had a nightmare run, but they then get a win and they'll have a bit of confidence as well?
Yeah, I think they'd been confident from their Morecambe performance as well. So I think you can look at that. You can look at that both ways, can't you? I imagine Liam might be getting asked a similar question about us.
And I guess that's what you've got to do, is that you've got to sort of turn those sort of things around and make it about you, haven't you?
Yeah, I think that's the big learning of the past week, isn't it? You obviously have to focus on and be respectful of the opposition, but not to the extent that you neglect your own strengths and what you can impose on the game. So now we're trying to strike a nice balance of being respectful and aware of MK, but also make sure we focus on our strengths and where we think we can hurt them.
How tough is that balance? Because I mean, the classic one for a manager is obviously you want your teams to be front foot and you want them to go out and attack, but also you want to be defensively sound at the back. And I guess, that's the classic conundrum of football, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, I guess that's why you talked about a squad before, but I guess that's why you have a whole different makeup in your squad. You try and have, when you're building it, you try and have runners, headers of the ball, technicians, and you try and bring together a nice melting pot to create a nice balance, and that's the constant challenge.
Talked about Dan Alundu. Everyone else okay that you've been having to pick from recently?
Yeah, 1 or 2 little niggles. which is to probably be expected. Volume of games, and when you've had a Tuesday night. But yeah, one or two that we'll just be watching closely this morning to make sure nothing flares up. But no, everybody should be on the grass and available to train.
And the walking wounded and the injured, what's the progress on them coming back? How's Sean Long as well, for starters?
Yeah, no, Longy's fine. Longy's available, so we followed all the correct protocol with him, which is good. I think it's really good that that's in place for players now, and that there's increasingly more focus on their welfare. So Longy's available. I think Grant's going to be about 6 weeks, which is a blow. I think all the others are progressing as and when you asked me previously.
How good then to have your club captain back into the mix and available?
Yeah, he's been good, Longy. Rags has come in, has done really well, so now we've got good competition and good depth in that department.
Thanks, Wade. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
How good is it to welcome Sean Long back from one game out after a clean sheet? All three defenders did well, and you're not sort of desperate, as well as he's done, and as important as a player he is, you're not sort of desperate for him to come back in.
No, you want that. I do think we have got competition we have got good competition with that throughout the squad, but certainly Rags came in, and I spoke to you at length about Rags before, that you totally trust him. I thought he came in, he gave a real, to be out for where he's been and performed to the level he did Tuesday, Saturday, I thought he was excellent.
You mentioned the turnaround MK have had. Do they still very much the same style they had last season? I don't know, you've had a look at them in the trophy in the flesh, but I'm sure you've watched them many times. Same sort of style of players last season?
Yeah, they are. They went through. Obviously, I know. I went to watch them a few weeks ago against Rovers. Obviously, Sean's there, so speak to Sean. I know Liam quite well. I think they did mix it about a little bit. They probably went a little bit more direct earlier in the season. But no, certainly the last 3 or 4 games that I've seen, they have got back to looking like they did last season in terms of style and how they want to play.
Mo Issa, he scored against Cheltenham last season. He came off the bench, didn't he, on Tuesday? So not a bad player to be bringing back in. Somebody that Cheltenham fans will know and remember very fondly.
No, listen, they've got a good squad. They've got, obviously, Ice has come back in. They've got Will Grigg up top. They've got Cody available. They've got Dennis. So they've got. We'll look at their league position, but they have got a very, very good squad.
Just want to ask you quickly about Marcus Bignut, Wade. He's been at the club since pre-season. He hasn't been mentioned that much, but how's he getting on? And he's starting to see some of his impact maybe with the defensive side of the team.
No, he's been good, Marcus. He has a real focus on set plays, so very detailed, very good in his set plays. Good experience. So he's been, obviously, Russ is there as well. Russ has been there, seen it, done it, and he's a really good sounding board. Marcus has got good experience, so offers different opinions. His defensive detail's good, so I think between us we can set a team up structurally to defend. But in terms of real detail in talking to centre halves and talking to defenders about how they use their body and things you learn from playing, Marcus is very good at that. And what he has been really good at, which you won't notice any immediate effects, or you won't see it on the day-to-day, but he's been really good with the academy. So he's got a real good link on the 18s to 16s, incorporating some of those boys into sessions, and some doing some really good work strengthening that link.
So has he almost become, as well as the defensive work and everything he's doing with the first team, a bit of a development coach role as well?
I think where Marcus has come from, he's been working with England under-19, so he's been working with the very best players in the country at that level. He's been around St George's for a little while now, so he's seen good practice. He knows how to. He knows how the academy system works. So I think as a club and as an academy, we really try to tap into that knowledge. And no, he's been good. He's certainly with the one or two of the younger ones. He has worked closely with Ash and Tim and Mickey to see how one or two of those can be developed and pushed on.